G'day, this is Captain Noob and this is the HS2000. This is a pistol of Creation Design and it comes to you in Fallout 4 in the form of a standalone highly customizable pistol with custom animations and sounds to go along with it, so a very high quality weapon package indeed. Anyways, we'll get into these attachments right now. First of all, we've got the standard receivers here. We'll be firing 38 calibers, but there's actually 10mm calibers and 45 calibers if you feel like it. Now I'm going to mention here, it's a little bit important that having the 45 caliber actually changes the look of this weapon. That actually shortens the barrel a little bit, and there are going to be sights options to actually suit that, which we'll get to later. But to make this the best damage we can, we'll go for a 45 calibrated receiver there. Can't do anything with the barrels. With the grips, you can have a standard with an ergo grip, you can have one with a stock, or just a stock without the ergo grip on its own, but we'll just go for an ergonomic grip there and we'll move on. Now for the magazines, that's a no-brainer. We'll chuck in the biggest, most fastest magazine there. And for the sights, now, if you want to actually use glow sights on this thing, you've got to make sure you equip it to its proper sort of attachment thing. So we've got the 45 one now. We need to use the 45 glow sights to actually make this work. Obviously there's 10mm glow sights and 38 caliber glow sights for those receivers as well. There's also a multitude of colors too, which is pretty nice, but you can put on a reflex sight there and that'll actually give you a tactical rail too, so why the hell not? We'll go for a reflex sight on that. And for the muzzle, obviously we're going to go for a suppressor. It's free real estate, right? Now for the legendaries, we're going to leave that as that, but unfortunately there's nothing we can do with this underbarrel bit there. That's a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, maybe a laser sight or a flashlight would go well on this, but if I did put a flashlight in, chances are I would forget to use it anyway. So that is our HS2000 there. I don't know why the gun isn't actually called that in this, but yeah, we're just going to call it a tactical pistol, I guess. Alright, we'll move in the Gunner's Plaza and see what this thing can do. Okay, so here we are in Gunner's Plaza with our HS2000. We're going to be using the 10mm animations. I've got them replaced by some War Daddy animations now, so it's going to look nice and slick. So going into first person with this, it looks pretty good. You've got a nice reflex sight on top of that, not too obstructive, and the sight is going to give me a sort of clear picture, although I probably would have gone for the dot if I had known there was no center point in the reflex reticule there. But anyways, that's what we look like in third person. Not a particularly oversized weapon, but it's not too small, so I'm pretty happy with that. If I could just switch into first person again, and we'll go ahead and get to some sneak attack criticals on these guys. Now obviously this thing isn't going to be as powerful as the Beretta 96A1, but it's going to be a little bit more balanced, which, you know, is useful, makes it a little bit more fun. And for those who hate suppressors, and why would you, they're so good, we've also grabbed two unsuppressed versions because one of them is actually automatic and the other one has different sounds as a semi-automatic, which is pretty good. Anyways, we're cheesing through these gunners pretty well now. I'm not really concerned about the lower damage of this thing compared to the 96A1 because we can basically one-shot these guys with sneak attack crits anyway, which is good stuff. Okay, out you come. Wow, that went actually pretty smoothly. Anyways, we'll switch over to our automatic one. Now this one actually has a stock on it. You can't really see it in first person, and it's no way it's going to reach your shoulder with the third person animation. So yeah, it's there for aesthetics really, although we should have basically no recoil to deal with. Not that we could see it there because I only shot that dude once, but whatever. We'll go ahead and start shooting these gunners in here. And I've also got the Furious effect on this so we aren't falling behind in damage when it comes to you know, hitting these guys over and over and not using the sneak attack criticals. And we're going to get shot quite a lot more, so we sort of need to have that extra damage output. Okay, there's Captain Bridget over there. Let's just go ahead and shoot her in the face a couple of times there. And if we see the damage sort of elevate itself as we're shooting her, yes, the Furious effect is working. A very nice legendary to have on all your automatic weapons. Except in the vanilla game, or at least in the DLC, there's only one weapon, or two weapons I should say, that actually spawn with the Furious effect. Anyways, so I'm not going to use a Furious effect for a pistol which fires in a semi-auto thing, so this one's just got a 3x damage multiplier with the good old sniper's effect, although we're a little bit more squishy by comparison now, simply because that's just a trade-off of that legendary effect there. But we're cutting through these gunners at a reasonable pace now. We'll just take out that turret whilst we can, and yeah, maybe a little bit too overpowered, but I'm not going to be wanting to sit here and shoot the same gunner 10 times over before they drop. I feel like shooting them a couple of times like this is fairly balanced, even though the time to kill is probably a little bit too fast for what Bethesda and Todd originally intended. They wanted things to be bullet tanky and spongy. I'm not sure why. That seems to just slow gameplay down, and it's not really what I'd like to see, but they fixed that a little bit when they made survival mode. That was a little bit better. 2 times multiplayer going out and 2 times multiplayer coming in. Actually did pretty well, although at earlier levels you were fairly disadvantaged because of your low health pool. But anyways, that was 3 variants of the HS2000 in Gunner's Plaza there. We did pretty well. Granted, we did have some overpowered legendary effects on them, but you know, these things will do pretty well regardless of that, especially if you're not playing on a very hard difficulty like I am. We'll move on to something else. Okay, so having seen this thing tear through Gunners pretty quickly, even with some overpowered legendary effects in Gunners Plaza, let's see how this thing does in VATS. Now, being a pistol with a reflex sight, I expect this thing to do pretty well. So we'll just start off by shooting these turrets. We'll just got to remember to crit our first 3 targets, and then we should be good. And then the rest of our shots will be automatic crits because Gunfu is that overpowered. Okay, looks like we've managed to target a whole heap of them. We'll just do 2 shots on that particular Gunner, Raider and power armor there. And you know what, it's probably wise to double up on a few of these Raiders. Why the hell not? Okay, let's go. First crit, down we go. 249 damage, that's enough to take out the turret. That actually makes me a little bit worried. Oh, we actually got a bit better damage that time. Probably because it was closer. We aren't being so much penalized for the damage there, and that's a nice little camera shot of the round going in place. And looks like we're able to get the Raiders a little bit easier, and I think I doubled up on that one, so that's good. But yeah, since these guys are a little bit more further out, we are suffering a little bit, but we are hitting them with the headshots, which means we do get a little bit more damage. Anything that's going to be closer than those particular Raiders there will be killed very quickly. And now that that Raider's helmet is knocked off, her damage resistance would be a little bit less. Probably not enough. Ooh, it was enough to kill her in 2 shots. Good stuff. Okay. Then that one, we come back to that one, that's another shot on you, and then that's it. But we've still got action points remaining to quickly crit that Raider there before she heals too much through her stim pack. And now they're coming up close, we'll go ahead and whip out our automatic one and kill them with a bit of furious damage. She died on you, Raider. Get over it. Okay. So what have we got left now? Not a lot, but we've got this one up here. We might as well go ahead and take her out. We'll let our concentrated fire quickly recover our accuracy there. And now we've got a couple of crits back at this point, which is going to be useful. Although I'm pretty sure we won't need to use them against the sleeping ghouls. And that is some Bethesda hitboxes right there if I've seen any. Bloody hell. Anyways, that appears to be it for the outside of Dunwich Borers. We'll quickly break our legs trying to jump down. We'll go inside after we kill this Raider survivalist. Lucky hit, she says, after firing several shots at me and not hitting one. Okay, let's go in. Okay, we're going to play this sneaky by the numbers, like Gunner's Plaza, but this time I'm trying to not get detected, because we've already showed off this thing's sounds with the suppressor off, but I kind of like the sounds with the suppressor on, and I missed there somehow. I'm really glad the animation there is to slowly, leisurely get up like nothing's happening. That's the same thing that happens in Skyrim, and where you can attack people with the sword and they'll just get up nice and slowly and then start attacking you there. I think there needs to be some more animations for getting out of bed or getting out of seats when there's combat happening, because I mean that kind of stuff does take you out of the game a little bit, but maybe it won't be such a problem in Fallout 76 because players probably won't be sitting around all that much there. I don't think there's any reason to, because you probably always want to be on your feet doing stuff, because it'd be boring standing there doing nothing, right? Alright, so now we can drop in on these 2 down here. Did you see how much damage I got on that person? Was that because of Mr. Sandman? I don't think it does that. That's weird. I just got a whole lot of damage on that person for no reason whatsoever. That's weird. Okay. Well, now we're into the ghoul territory, and it should be easy enough to take him out. You know what? We'll just set off this gas before we get down there. That does piss off a few of the ghouls, and they'll be running at us. Hopefully they don't detect us. No, we've been detected. That's fine. We'll whip out our 3 times damage one and cap these fools. Oh my god, yeah, this is probably a little bit too much damage, but you know what? I like one-shotting these guys. Although, we'll just switch to our automatic one, because why the hell not? Maybe the sniper's effect was a little bit too much for that one, but you know what? That's fine. I like having a nice pistol ready to fire. Also, there's going to be some behind me too. Don't forget about that. I'm glad I didn't come through this place when I was playing One Hit Wonder because, ugh, that would have got me every time. Never mind. Okay. Actually, I probably would have been able to sneak my way out of it. Also, you're alive, but you don't ever bother to friggin' get up. Laziest ghoul ever. Okay, time to get to the unique ones in here. And although we've only got we haven't got a suppressed one, those ones that are on the ground there and are clearly alive thanks to the character lighting, they're not going to really detect us until we get super close. I think that one's withered. Yes, he is. I'm glad the withered ones are so squishy, yet they give you so much XP. This is a good place to farm XP back when I was doing my PS4 legit character, getting all the perks there. Took fucking ages though. Many trips down to the glowing sea it took for me to actually get down there and get all my XP going. I don't think the game was meant to be played for as many hours as I did, but yeah. It sort of broke the save though because loading takes ages now. I'm glad I'm on PC now where I've got the SSD to help me out with the loading screens and such, even though it seems very poorly optimized on this platform regardless. Anyways, we're back into stealthy territory now, so why not whip out the one with the suppressor once more as we finish off these last ghouls here. I don't understand why the dead ones also get character lighting. That's really strange. Maybe I should turn it off. That'd make it a little bit more engaging, I suppose. Alright, I'm going to spawn right next to these guys, aren't I? No? I don't know. Usually turning on the light spawns in more ghouls. Maybe they're above me. Not really particularly sure. But anyways, that appears to be actually it here in Dunwich Bore is there. So a very, very solid pistol. If you'd like to see this thing in your game, check out the link in the description. Good job on this, Shifu. You've knocked it out of the ballpark again. See, the Russians, they know how to do their pistol mods alright. They know how to do their weapon mods. Everything that comes out of that side is bloody gold. Anyways, yeah, links in the description. Make sure you have an account if you want to actually see this. I feel like that's a must. And yes, do say hi to the community. They're not all bunch of arseholes. The Nexus likes to make them out to be like that, but no, they're a good community out there. They're just out doing their own thing, a little bit differently than what you'd expect from the Nexus. I'm going to shut my mouth now so I can end this video. Thank you for watching, guys.